Good morning, good night, and anything in between. Welcome to my channel. So I'm currently here in Sydney Airport, Terminal 1, heading towards Osaka. I will be taking a Juneyao airline this morning via Shanghai. So why don't you join me as I review the airline. This is a Chinese airline, and they just started operating here in Sydney sometime in October last year. So I thought I'll give it a try. It is not a budget airline, and for this morning or until this evening, I will go through the check-in process, the baggage, and later on I will discuss about the actual plane, the transit experience. Also, actually, because Juneyao Airline is a part of Star Alliance, so they do have a bidding process if you want to go into a business class. I did get an email to upgrade to a business class just because it is a because I have a layover to go to Osaka, so it's a two bidding I have to do. And the starting bid to go to Shanghai, it's about, like, if I have to convert it into Australian dollar, it's about 1,300. And to bid to go from Shanghai to Osaka, it's about 250 to start the bid. So I didn't bid for the Sydney to Shanghai lay, but I tried to bid with the Shanghai to Osaka. So I don't know the result of that bid yet, and later on I'll also discuss the experience about the bidding process. But anyway, so it is now 5:15 in the morning. My flight is at 8:15, so exactly 3 hours I got into the airport. I have to go now, but I will come back in a little bit, and I will go through like the experience with Juneyao Airlines. Okay, so I'll see you soon. So I just finished checking in just then. When I came in, I was about the 20th person on the line, and the whole checking in process took about 20 minutes. There were 7 counters open, 2 of them for the business class and 5 for economy. I did mention earlier that I was flying to Osaka and I only had an hour layover. And when I selected the seat last week, I selected the very last seat because I purposely want to film, but I didn't realize that it is actually just an hour layover, and by the time I get out of the plane, because everyone's waiting in the aisle, probably I will miss my flight. So the lady actually just voluntarily, or without asking me, moved me to a different seat. So she moved me to 35H. I hope it's an aisle seat, because I intentionally wanted to get a window seat, but if it's a 3-seat configuration, I would prefer to be an aisle seat. So she said it is an aisle seat, but we'll see how we go. So I am now going to go to the gate, and I will see you when I go inside the plane. So I just showed you the queue to the boarding gates, and it's actually most of the people that was waiting earlier here at the lobby is lining up already, and it's almost finished. I don't tend to go on the plane early, and I normally just wait until the last passenger, or almost the last passenger, is boarding, and that's when I try to go in. I just minimize the time of my I just try to minimize my time on the plane. And also, you also have to wait at the gate of the plane anyway, and I can't be bothered standing. Anyhow, so I did mention earlier about that I tried to bid for the business class for this trip, and it has two like it's a two trip because I have to stop over to Shanghai, and then so the bidding will have to be from Sydney to Shanghai and then Shanghai to Osaka. I couldn't afford the business class, at least like even the starting bid, so I didn't try and bid for it, but I did bid for the Shanghai to Osaka. Although it's only 3 hours, I thought I'll give it a try. It's about $250 if you convert them. But the thing with the bidding system, they email you about that the auction is available. It is all written in Chinese, so I knew it's something because Juneyao Airline is from Star Alliance, so I knew they do offer bidding system if you wanna upgrade your cabin. So I knew it will be that. So I opened the email, and unfortunately, it was all written in Chinese. At the time, I wasn't with my friend, so I had to use my other phone to translate the words in the email. And then when I finally got a chance to see my friend, I actually asked him to help me translate what it's saying. And although I've got a little bit of translation from the phone, but of course I want to make sure that it is a correct one. So when I tried to bid and it's asked me for the payment details, it's only allowing you to pay through WeChat or Alipay. I have an Alipay from my previous trip to China, so I have to load it up before, but I don't have the cash in it anymore, so it's only just connected to my Australian bank account. And when I was paying for the bid price, my bank just would not pass the authentication, so I had to try at least 9 times. And it's actually it's actually on the transcript of my Alipay, but it's just still processing. So again, I reached out to my friend and asked him if he could help me, and he offered to give me money or transfer me money so I can pay for the bidding. So I got a cash transfer to my Alipay, and I used the balance of my Alipay to pay for the bidding price. So before before just about 5 minutes ago, I checked my email, and there's no email about the result of the bid. I am going to be catching that flight in 10 hours time, so I'm not sure whether they will let me know when I get there. I do have a boarding pass already because I am going straight to Osaka with my 1 hour layover. So I don't know, fingers crossed I get upgraded, but if not, it doesn't matter. Whatever, I just thought it'd be good for content, or at least I could see what it's like to be on the business class of Juneyao Airlines. Just a feedback, or I suppose the only thing about the bidding system is it is not very foreigner friendly, because everything is written in Chinese. There's no option for you to change the language, so it was quite difficult, and it is quite scary because you don't know what you're clicking. But lucky I've got a friend that reads and speaks Chinese, so he was able to help me. But for others, I suppose it's going to be very difficult. Just on that, and a side note, I did fly China Southern Airlines before when I went to China, and it was the same thing for them because we tried to upgrade our seats as well. And the friend I was with, that she doesn't speak Chinese, or she doesn't read Chinese, so we weren't able to upgrade at the time, even if we have to pay. So, but yeah, so I suppose that's a downfall if you if you are traveling with a Chinese airline and there's no function for a translation in the app or on the website. But that's my review about the bidding system anyway. But otherwise, it's okay if you've got someone that can translate for you, or if you've got other phone that can translate the writing on documents. So I am going to board soon because I think it's almost the end of the line now. I will be reviewing what's like, how the plane is, or how like the comfort of the plane. I'm also going to be showing you the food that they will be serving. Oh, just FYI, with this airline, they give you two luggage, 23 kilos each, as an allowance for when you check in, and you've got 10 kilos of hand carry. So it's quite good, especially if you're going to Japan, where I assume there will be a lot of shopping going on. That will be going on later on. So, but I've only got a small hand carry that I've checked in. But I'm very good at packing, so I really packed that in. And that's an extendable bag, so I could extend that, and I packed in a duffel as well that I can check in later on when I happen to buy something, or if I happen to buy a lot in this trip. But I will see you guys in a little bit. I might just have to voice over when I'm on the plane because I don't want to disturb the person I'm going to be sitting with. But hopefully you're still hanging around, or you're still hanging on until I get the full review of this plane. So this is what it looks like on my seat. I am 5 feet and 2 inches, and this is my leg room. In front is a seat pocket which has the plane information, waist bag, Wi-Fi information, and a magazine featuring Flying to Kobe with Juneyao Air. I actually did try to connect to the Wi-Fi while we are flying, but I was unable to connect. Somehow it just keeps rolling, and I just couldn't connect at all. They also supplied us with a pillow and a blanket, which is made of either polyester or acrylic. Just before we take off, they started handing out the headphones that we can use for the entertainment system. The entertainment system has movie, TV shows, and music that you can choose from. The screen is quite responsive, but you just have to change it to the language that you prefer, and the available ones either English or in Chinese. They also did group the movies into a new release, or a Chinese movies, or some Hollywood movies as well, so it's easier to navigate. Headrest is adjustable, so you can either lift it up or down, or you can also fold it so you can have your head snug on it. 30 minutes on the flight, they started giving us something to drink, and an hour later they gave us our lunch that's composed of fruits, chicken noodles, some bread, some dessert, and some yogurt. 2 hours just before we land, we had another meal. So I got the beef and some bacon. So now I'm currently here in Shanghai Pudong Airport on my second flight to Osaka. So the Juneyao Air actually landed right on time, right on schedule, and the process to get to the transfer counter is very seamless. So there's assistance coming from the plane, and they directed me on where to go. So there's a few of us that are catching the same flight as well anyway, but there's also other flights that are going domestic, and they just directed people on how to get to the transfer counter. And the transfer counter, the security check is also next to it, so it's quite easy to find, and there's not a lot of people as well. So I'm not sure if you can see behind me is a plane for bound for Osaka. So this is the Juneyao Air that we're gonna be catching in a little bit. So far the food was good. It's I can't say it's really good. It's just okay for a plane food. The service is very good as well. So the staff, the crew are very attentive, and they respond to the buzzers straight away. Also, the only thing that I probably should comment on is they don't dim the light throughout the flight. So it was a little bit bright for most of the flight. There's like maybe a couple of hours that they've turned the shadow on the blind screen, but other than that, it's quite the whole flight's quite illuminated. But the plane itself, it's quite pretty with all the wallpapers that they've got on all over the aircraft. So it's quite pretty. It's blue. It's very nature looking, and I think it's an advertisement for a TikTok something, or yeah, because it has the TikTok logo, but I couldn't understand what it says, so I just assumed. But otherwise, so far it's been really good. So we are still on time. We're supposed to board the next flight at 5:05, but I'm still here, so it is running a little bit late, I think, on the flight to Osaka, but doesn't matter as long as I will get on to the flight, because I was getting a little bit worried with a 1 hour layover and the transfer process and all that stuff. Oh, and also I didn't get the bid to upgrade for this flight, so I will be back on my original seat right at the back, which is what I wanted anyway, so it's not too bad. So I will just hang around, maybe just look around this airport while I'm waiting for the gate to open, and I'll see you when I get to Osaka. So I am now currently inside the plane bound to Osaka. So the plane is quite empty at the moment, and I think the boarding gate is almost closing unless they are still waiting for people to board. So the same as the other plane, this is a 3x3x3 configuration, but I'm seated right at the end, so it's only two at the very last. So it's just there, and you've got a purple seat and you've got a red in the middle. So I can just show you quickly. The plane is quite empty, as you can see. There's hardly any heads that you can see in there, and just the wallpaper that I was referring earlier. So you've got them here throughout the plane. Makes it really nice. It does make the plane a little bit smaller, but it is very pretty in the eye. And they've got an entertainment system, so it has a spotlight, movies, TV show, music, kids, flight map, games, shopping, destination guide, and about Juneyao Airline. So the screen is quite responsive, and you've got a lot there. You've also got a USB charger in here and a headphone jack you've got information about the Wi-Fi and Juneyao Air, and the tray table, single tray table if you're just going to have drinks, or full one if you've got a full tray, and you can move it closer to you as well. Has a little slot here for it says literature only, and then you've got a safety instruction. So Boeing 787 is the model of this plane. Information about the flights. Thank you. They just gave me a headphone. I'll just pop them in there. A waist bag and information about flight to Kobe. So the basket is quite okay, not too bad. Leg room, so I am about 5'3", so that is the amount of leg room I have in here, so I'm quite short. And so I normally just have my bag underneath anyway. I don't carry a whole luggage with me when I board on the plane. And just that, and you've got the window right there, and you've got some window art here, and we're leaving now. So you can see outside it says Shanghai. Thank you. And I'm just gonna discuss the seats for now. So the seat has like the same as the other one earlier. The headrest goes up and down if you're tall or if you're short like me, and the headrest can be folded as well if you want your head to be fit snug in here. I've got a neck pillow that I normally attach here so my head doesn't move forward. And that's that. And the material of these is maybe polyester satin blend. It's quite nice, and they've changed these for every passengers as well. The armrest can go up, so it'll be good later on when I want to lie down, maybe for a 3-hour flight. So we are going shortly. They are doing a final check on the plane. I might be able to show you what the food is like and have like a little review of the food as I am eating it, since there's only about 5 of us here at the back, so I should be able to do that now. Unlike earlier, it's quite a book flight, it's quite packed, so I don't want to do like a vlog while on the plane. So anyways, I think we're gonna go soon, so I better turn this off, and I'll see you later. Okay, just hang in there because there's more to come. So they've just given us something to eat, and they've just handed it to me, so I don't know what it is actually. They didn't give us any option. We'll just see what it is. Rice and teriyaki chicken. Okay, cool. Looks good. So the rice is actually quite nice. And let's try the chicken. Teriyaki. Quite nice. So I'm now back in the hotel room after a very long trip to get here. Just to recap what the experience with Juneyao Airline has been for me today. So the check-in process was very good. They have a lot of counters open, so the check-in time was really streamlined. Also the lady at the counter, well, at least the one I've got, she's very kind to move me to the front of the plane so I could disembark early and I could catch my next flight. Also, the food, it is not a budget airline, so they provide 2 meals during the 10-hour trip, and they provide drinks in between the service. The only thing is I don't think that they serve coffee, to be honest, or I must have missed it, but they didn't do that. But that's okay. The flight crew was very, very kind. Also, the other thing I've noticed, or maybe because it is because they are Chinese airline, that there were two marshals on board, and you could easily identify them. Also, there is a note there or a sign there saying that there's video surveillance during the trip. So I think that's quite comforting, like knowing that someone's there in case, in case there's misbehaving passenger on board and the flight crew couldn't tame them. So that's a good thing. Also, and I think the boarding time was good. They were a little bit delayed when we were in Shanghai, but at the same time we managed to actually leave or fly out on the time that we were supposed to. There was no delay of me coming to Shanghai. There was also no delay of me getting into Osaka, so that's very good. And they disembark people quite efficiently. So overall, for the price, actually I don't think I've mentioned it. So for my trip to Osaka, I only paid 780 Australian dollars, but I had to pay for the seat allocation. I think I paid $15 each way So I had four legs in this trip, so additional $60. And they provide 2 luggage as a check-in and for 23 kilos each. So for someone who's going to Japan, that is very good, because most people, they really buy a lot when they go to Japan. Maybe that's me as well, I don't know, we'll see. But and 10 kilos for a cabin luggage as well, so that's very good. So yeah, for that price, I did check after I bought this ticket. I checked them again after a couple of weeks, and the price went double. So it went up to 1,500 just a couple of weeks after I bought this. So for the price that I paid, it's very, very good. For 1,500, if you have to go and pay that much, I'm not sure. Maybe not, but the only thing I don't like about the plane was the configuration, especially if you're traveling alone. It's very difficult to select whether you're going on a window seat or the aisle seat. If you take the aisle seat, then you have 2 people that would want to go out and will most likely disturb you if you're going to sleep during the trip, especially if it's a night flight. And if you take the window seat, then you have to ask 2 people next to you to get out as well. So I kind of don't like that. So if it's like a 3 by 3 by 3 configuration, if there is an option for the ones at the back that has just 2 seats in it, that's what I normally would take. Or I would take the middle aisle, the middle seats, and then I normally take the aisle seat. So at least maybe the one next to me will just pick the other person next to him or her and go out that way if they see that I'm sleeping. But anyway, but that's just me. But anyway, so enough enough like ranting. I think I'm getting sidetracked. But so all in all, I recommend Juneyao Airline to go to Osaka. So, and if you're coming from Sydney, it is a new schedule to go to fly to Sydney, in and out of Sydney. And I think soon they will be flying out of Melbourne. So I think sometime in June they are starting to fly from there. So it's worth checking out. So I hope you like this video, and if you did, please hit that thumbs up just to show me some support, or hit the notification bell, or better yet, subscribe to my channel. I hope to see you on my next video. But for now, it's me, truly wonderly yours. Hanggang sa muling pagtatagpo. Bye!